In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can start your real estate portfolio in your 20s. But before we get into it, I'm going to ask you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. Over the last week, I've had a ton of new subscribers. I actually had my first day where I gained 100 new subscribers in 24 hours, so I'm extremely grateful for that. So welcome to everybody who's new to the channel. On this channel, I talk about everything that's real estate, money, and investing. So if that's interesting to you, definitely hit subscribe. All right, so let's get into it. So a lot of you are in your teens and your 20s, and you're looking to get your first rental property under your belt. But that's a relatively simple step. I'll link a video up above that shows the step of how to buy your first house and what you need to get to before you can buy your first house. But the difficult part is scaling afterwards. You need to know how to get to that second and third and fourth unit so that you can get to the point where you can actually live off your rental income. So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So you're going to use something called the First-Time Homebuyers Program. This is a program put on by the government to incentivize people to buy their first home. It's a program where they'll match the amount that you put down for the down payment. So typically you would need 10% minimum as your down payment. The government will actually give you 5% if you contribute 5%. So they actually take equity in the home. So when you eventually sell, if you lose money, they also lose the 5%. If you gain money, they also gain whatever that 5% turned into. But this is just a way to enable you to get into your first home for less money. For example, for a $300,000 house, you would typically need $30,000 as a down payment to get into your first home. However, with this program, you only need to put $15,000 down, and the government will match that and put $15,000 as well. So the thing about this strategy is you're actually buying your first rental property as a home that you are moving into and living in. This is because banks will require 20% down for your first investment, or any investment for that matter, which likely if you're trying to get into your first home, you won't have 20% down. So this is where this strategy comes into play. You're buying your first investment as a home you actually move into. Now, with this strategy, you'll want to buy a home that has a basement suite or is a duplex or somehow has 2 or 3 units. That way you can move into one, use the home buyer program, but also have renters in the same house paying you money every month. Now, if you can't afford a house that has 2 or 3 units in it, you can go the house hacking route. This is where you actually buy a single family home. It doesn't have a separate unit, but it has a bunch of bedrooms, and you can actually move all your friends into the house and they can just rent out a bedroom and they'll pay your mortgage every month. Now, because you'll be living in the home as well, you'll be eligible for the first-time homebuyer program. You'll be able to get into your first property for less money and also have renters paying you every month. Now, eventually, you're going to want to get out of that house and start to scale your real estate portfolio. So how do you do this? You do this by eventually saving up enough money by having your renters pay your mortgage every month. You can just save all of your income, or eventually you can get to the point where you have enough equity built up in your home that you can actually refinance. Now, after you refinance, you'll be able to take all the money from the bank back into your own pocket. You now have no equity in the home, but you also have none of your own money in the home. Now, with that money you took out from the refinance, you can actually go and buy another house, go buy another duplex, threeplex, whatever it may be. If you can get to the point where you own the original house with 2 units or a duplex, and you can find a way to refinance and buy another house with maybe another basement suite or another duplex, by the time you're in your late 40s or 50s, you'll have both of these completely paid off, and you'll be living off of thousands of dollars in passive income because you won't be paying a mortgage, and all the rent from each unit is going to be coming directly into your pocket. And at that point, you've been in real estate for 20 years, so you'll be able to grow your real estate portfolio in much more creative ways, I'm sure. So if you're at that point where you don't own any real estate, but you want to make that first step towards buying your first home, I have a completely free buyer's guide for you. Just comment down below buyer's guide, and I'll respond and get that to you as fast as I can. And other than that, if you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate a like, and I'll see you in the next video.